I have some undeniable proof here about how extreme the modern-day Republican Party has become. Raw Story explains, Republican voters in the Minnesota Second Congressional District just nominated former right-wing radio host Jason Lewis as their nominee. Okay, so right-wing radio hosts, there's a lot of those around, and actually some have already been elected in various positions. But what makes this guy so special? Well, first of all, people said from the beginning he can never win. He can never win. There's no way he's going to win. Some Republican officials denounced him because he's really, really extreme, and he said some very concerning things. So he was a gigantic long shot, but he ended up winning. What's the most troubling thing he said that raised a bunch of eyebrows around the country? He said the following, quote, "In fact, if you really want to be quite frank about it, how does somebody else owning a slave affect me? It doesn't. If I don't think it is right, I won't even own one. And people always say, well, if you don't want to marry somebody of the same sex, you don't have to. But why tell somebody else they can't? If you don't want to own a slave, don't. But don't tell other people they can't." Okay, now, lest you think he was joking around or, he made that as an offhanded comment or something. No. He said this in an audio commentary added to his book, Power Divided is Power Checked, The Argument for States' Rights. Okay, so he put it in this audio recording for his book and then approved it. Great! I nailed that. Sell it now. Dude, a pro-slavery Republican was just nominated and might be in Congress. Pro-slavery. I'm very rarely at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words right now. How stupid can a single human being be in 2016? He used the gay marriage argument to try to justify slavery. That is by far and away the dumbest thing I've heard all year. Well, I mean, come on. People say, if you're against gay marriage, don't get gay married. There it is. Simple as that. Yeah, that argument makes sense. But then he says, well, if you don't want to own a slave, don't own a slave. But don't stop other people from owning slaves. You're taking away all of the rights of another human being. You're treating another human being like property. No, everybody has human rights. Nobody can be treated like property. How do you miss this? How are you that stupid? How is anybody this stupid? You just argued for slavery in 2016. I can't believe you just argued for slavery in 2016. Dude, when it comes to gay people, everybody is in their own agent. Everybody makes up their own mind. So, yeah, you want to get gay married, get gay married. You don't want to get gay married, don't get gay married. It's called freedom. It's called liberty. Now, when it comes to owning a slave, if everybody is their own agent and everybody can make up their own mind and everybody has sovereignty and freedom and liberty, it's not a choice of, well, no, some people can be owned and other people can't be owned. But this is the thinking of a deeply racist and bigoted person. Because when it's black people, well, they don't really count. I mean, are we really going to say they have sovereignty and they have freedom and liberty? No, I have freedom of liberty. I have the freedom and liberty and sovereignty to own you, to treat you like property if you're not the same skin color as me. Man, this guy just won. He fucking won. He won. Look, I don't think Donald Trump is anywhere near as crazy or stupid as this guy. But understand that this is the result of the Trumpification of U.S. politics. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? I mean that it used to be the case for the longest time that Republicans would use coded bigotry and xenophobia when they run the Southern strategy. They'd be very coded in how they appeal to white voters, because you can't just come out and say, I'm for the white people, because that would be racist. So you use code to signal, I'm for you guys, and, hard workers should be rewarded, and the people who are on welfare, black people, they need to start pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. It was all very coded language. The illegal immigrants, they're the problem, the fucking Mexicans. But Donald Trump dropped the act. Just like he did on foreign policy. The neocons used to torture and say it's enhanced interrogation. Trump was like, no, I'm pro-torture. I want to kill, let's take out their families, let's kill civilians. He says, let's ban all Muslims from entering the country. There's nothing coded about that. I want to ban all Muslims. That's what I want to do. I want to ban all Muslims. They're rapists. The Mexicans, they're rapists. They're criminals. I assume some are good people, but they're rapists and criminals. Implying the majority are the problem. He wants to deport 11 million undocumented immigrants. He just says it. He just comes out and says it. He's honest and open in his bigotry and his xenophobia. Well, that has consequences. Where other people go, I can do this too? So what happened? Recently, David Duke. Now, to be fair to Trump, he's disavowed, okay, fuck David, I don't accept, I don't want his endorsement, yada, yada. And fair is fair. He did say that. You got to give him credit for that. But David Duke looks at what Trump is saying and he's like, right on. Like, that means now I can get in and I can talk about, the problem, those goddamn Jews. For those of you who haven't seen, you got to see the interview between the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, and David Duke. David Duke can't help himself. Every 8 seconds, the fucking Jews, right? It's those Jews, right? The Jews are controlling everything. They are. So, but now you've opened up the door. Now people are coming in and they're saying shit like, it's the fucking Jews. Or they're like, it's the Muslims, or it's this, or it's that. And now we have people who go, slavery. Yeah, slavery. Hey, people can get gay married. They have the freedom to do that. Why can't I have the freedom to own slaves? Because everybody has human rights and nobody can be property. That argument apparently wasn't convincing to this moron, and somehow he's now nominated. Think about that.